Hey, folks, this is Steve Vai, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. I'm pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. That's what I'm talking about. 617-525-08. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 369. Kiss on 2020.
Yeah, TV clip time, 1979. Good stuff here. I love these episodes.
Yeah,
actually, I love them all.
There's some we don't like.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Along with a lot of people.
Oh, we'll get into that. Don't worry. There's plenty of that to talk. I got a lot of. Maybe Festivus comes early this year.
Jesus, it's Festivus here every week.
Yeah. Good point. Very true.
Tom, last week we did the best 15th track on a Kiss album.
Yep.
Bear with me today, folks. I'm not feeling well at all, but, such a warrior to get into this podcast. Oh,
I just gotta throw on crazy nights. Just get some positive energy going.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, okay.
Christ. Anyway, Tom, best 8th track. What did we do a poll on?
Yep. So we picked 4 songs. I picked the top 2, I believe, from each of ours. We did Almost Human, She, X-Ray Eyes, and Mainline. She runs away with the poll here, 59%. Almost Human at 23%. Mainline at 11%. X-Ray Eyes comes in last at 7%. That was a little bit of a surprise for me. I thought people hated Almost Human. Dave Arsenal says, really surprised by how strong the 8th tracks were. Almost Human, slight edge over She. Lone Star Wolf says, Almost Human for me. The opening sounds like Gene taking a growler after eating at Tom and Zeus's favorite Mongolian beef restaurant. Growler. Greg Seacrest, I voted for Almost Human. This may cause some to clutch their pearls, but I've never really been a fan of She, except for the awesome last part of the live version. She sounds like it was written for a 70s porno. Well, maybe it was. Music Enthusiast decides to rank them by saying Almost Human, She, X-Ray Eyes, and Mainline. Yeah, varied selection there, that's for sure. What else we got here? Our buddy, the Hoyati from Down Under. Did I say it right, Zeus? Am I getting it better? Am I getting better at it?
You're getting perfect at it.
Fantastic show. Love the list from both of you. Maybe would have had the Oath higher and Partners in Crime from Killers. Yeah, we would have done that if we didn't say that the episode included only studio albums. But that's why we love you, Thanos. Because Killers is a compilation, so can't have that. But good call anyways there.
And you can't have shoes on either.
Can't have shoes. Nope. You know what else is killer? Barefoot Greek people. That's what's killer. But that being said, that's Twitter this week.
All right. On the Book of Face, Metal Train on WPRK, Secretly Cruel, FTW. That should have been a single.
He's right, but Paul ain't going to allow that.
Charles, Don't Call Me Mark Eaton. Beth is so overplayed. Here's a better list of the best 8 song on a Kiss album. And he ranks them. He has Dangerous as number 1 on his list.
See? There's something for everybody out there. Yep.
Yuck. Chris Hall lists his top 3, Mainline, She, and Plaster Caster. Strike that. Meant Almost Human. Dude, the amount of people that listed the wrong number for tracks. I just had to make a comment. I think I added on. Yeah, I love this series. Best 8 track. Detroit Rock City, Black Diamond, and Rise to it. Like, what the fuck,
I know.
people?
Yep, I love it.
Igor Polish Hammer Horniatko. X-Ray Eyes is my pick, but I do agree with Tom. Thou Shall Not is a killer track. Powerful vocals and a ripping solo.
Yep.
Mikey Zamboni. Love in Chains, Thou Shall Not, She, and Mainline. Thou Shall Not is a heavily underrated song. Would love to see that live.
Yeah, thou tards. Love it.
Our buddy Steve Warsap lists his, and he has Love in Chains on the top of his list.
All right.
Let's go over to Loudcasters. John Whiteman has a photo of somebody with a bunch of skin tags on his neck.
Good God. Oh.
So here is Hall of Famer John Whiteman's. Who knew that track 8 would have so many deep cut bangers? Ace got on board by putting Constantly Cute. Constantly Cute as track 8 on 10,000 volts. Just listen to the curated playlist on Spotify, and it's making the hair on my neck stand up. Fucking nasty.
I love that. That's awesome.
BC Allison. I really dig these. The best insert number track list episode. Seriously, it's always gets me thinking about Kiss's back catalog and songs I need to revisit. I can't argue with either of your picks. Tom and Zeus, I'd have to say that she is definitely number one for me. But there's some very nice surprises along the way, particularly Reason to Live, which I think is very underrated. Well done, fellas. Can't wait for the best track, number 9s.
There you go.
Zane Beasley adds, gonna make this list part of a new set list at band rehearsal. Thanks for the shout out of the comment of the week and another great episode.
All right. That's cool.
Your buddy there, the Greek Thunder from Down Under with no shoes on and a Horiati.
Shoeless Joe Jackson Acratides.
Yeah. You. Some socks on, dude. Rocking Show Boys, I would agree with Joey. This selection is great. Tom, imagine this on vinyl. This is the true essence of this show, having fun without taking things so seriously. Oh, you got to keep it all positive, Tip, you know?
Positive and serious. That's what it's all about.
Oh, just got to, you're doing things right, Tom.
Yeah, I know. I wish we were. God, we'll get better, I hope.
I hope so.
Keep trying.
Joey fucking skin tight jeans Romanic Hall of Famer. Man, like Tom said, when I first heard what the topic for the show was, I thought, man, this is going to be a brutal list. But au contraire, Loudcasters, if you took those songs and put them on one record, it would be better than 90% of the rock albums put out in the 70s, 80s, and 90s combined. Ooh. It also shows statistically different Kiss could be from album to album. As example, She's So European and the Old sound like completely different bands, yet they were on albums that were released just 1 year apart. Mm-hmm. Great show, guys. I'm really looking for the new sidecast. Prolapse Fist.
Oh, God.
Skin Tag Neck Skin.
Ugh.
I hear the first guest will be Christy Cannons and that meatball sub guy. Jeez.
Oh, God. Stay tuned. You never know what's next.
What's good about this one is it's still somewhat long, but it's not as long as Joey usually has his comments. So that therefore I can read them.
True.
Over on Blue Sky, Oakham Razor says, gentlemen, thank you for this annual treat. I revel in this examination, the gleeful rediscovering some forgotten gems, but I'm not sure how a ghastly piece of excrement such as X-ray eyes made it. It is the only blemish on otherwise fine list. And then he ends with E pluribus unum.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, dude. That song rocks. Now let's go over to YouTube. As you can tell, people, I'm fucking struggling to make it through this episode.
Riding a struggle bus. I love it.
I could care less about Chad Pennington struggling. T-Shay writes, Tom, she walks by moonlight. Zeus, is that what she does?
Oh, God.
Joseph Kiss Sr., Gina's working with the Fanboy Expo people on this Legends of Rock, and I have to say I'm intrigued. I agree with Tom's conspiracy theory that you probably can scratch a Kiss cruise off the list for this year. So we'll get a Nell Carter mention in this episode, and then a minute later, we're talking about a hot knife through butter. Only on Shout It Out Loudcast. Thanks, brother. Patrick 2420. Which off the soundboard would you pick? Maracana or Palladium? What do you say, Shelley? Shelley.
Well, it depends on if you want the Creatures tour or the Unmasked tour.
I would say the Maracana, and if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, well, that's that big one that the creature. You remember the video?
Vinny, that's the Vinny one, yeah, or the Palladium.
That's the Unmasked tour, yeah. But the Maracana.
The only U.S. Unmasked, and that's Eric's first concert. So.
Yes, if they were smart, they'd release one of those. Yeah. Let's take a look at Spotify. We always like to remind people that you can comment directly from Spotify, which is very cool. Scott Cleve 325. I just found out an almost human tard is a thing, and I'm one of them. It's my second favorite Gene song after Unholy. Love the show Fruitcakes. Oh, there you go.
God bless him.
It's sad and even pathetic.
No, it isn't. A Flaming Skull Dude says there's some bad songs. She is the best. Les Crouton says, great episode, guys. Who knew Kiss had such bangers at number 8? Looking forward to blasting these hidden gems. Cameron Johnson says, holy fucking shitballs, an Unmasked song made Zeus's list. Ooh. Kane the Main says, if you go back to Kissology Volume 2, Disc 3, and watch the Crazy Nights tour, while performing Reason to Live, someone throws something at Paul and it lands on his microphone. Still trying to figure out what it was. Also, the same show, Gene has a pair of women's panties hanging off of his bass. Okay, thank you for that.
Speaking of throwing.
I threw pennies into the street in Chinatown because I knew he would run out and retrieve them. I used to just stand on the curb and fling them, and he would run into the gutter to get the coins.
Oh, God. Well, we'll get back to that in a minute. Bobby Kenner, I love when you guys do these track lists. Great lists all around. I'll probably catch hell, but I will admit that Kiss the Girl Goodbye would make my personal list. But I know it's not the Kiss sound at all. Really interesting continued discussion on wearing Kiss gear, too. I never consciously thought about it, but yes, I do only seem to wear Kiss shirts to certain events, and it has nothing to do with how I feel about the band. Also, I laughed so hard during this episode. Well, thank you, Bobby. We did, too, so I appreciate that. Mr. V, love the episode and your song choices. It's one thing to talk about the songs, but hearing them along with your explanations was fantastic. Yeah, well, thank you. You can give praise to our editor-in-chief there, the fantastic Zeus man.
Oh, God, please don't do this.
Dan Gartrell says, The Oath? Seriously? You might as well have Shandy on a top 10 list. Okay, so this guy's comparing The Oath to Shandy. Oof, no.
Yuck.
Yeah. Mo says, who's the man? Yep, man of 1,000 faces. Dave Arsenal says, I have decided to identify as a tard. I like it. Rick Rara, our buddy, Almost Human. Hell yeah, my top 3 Gene songs of all time. And Chrono Joker says, great episode. This is a fun one. Besides the album reviews, it's my favorite series. I have Silver Spoon, The Oath, and Reason to Live. All right. A couple things on Instagram here. Clock Side of the Moon says, great episode as always. As frustrating as this band can be, it says a lot that there are still so many bangers as the 8th track on these albums. It's why we all fell in love with them in the first place. Abusement says, to hear Mainline Secretly Cruel and Almost Human get some love was cool and refreshing. The deep cuts you guys chose are strong enough to be singles for any other band. Great work. Well, thank you. Let's look at a couple of emails here. Our buddy Costa Vutsinis. Guys, I just saw the footage of the storm hitting the East Coast. Thought of you both. Hope all is well. Yeah, we're surviving. I realize why I always love Shout It Out Loudcast episodes like this. The anticipation to hear which song each of you will choose in your list is like time traveling back to those teenage years in the 80s, lying on the couch and waiting for the top 10 to be played. I love Tom's Almost Human choice. I had the 8-track back in the day, and Gene's moan is etched in my memory. Song would have made for a cool music video or background music on American Werewolf in London or Lost Boys. Does Tom have the same reaction to the clips that Zeus plays like I do? Always a hearty laugh with aces, while Paul's makes you want to give him a Fanis Sfaliara across the face. I don't know what that is.
Sfaliara.
What's that, slap?
A slap.
A slap. Okay. Take care, boys, and keep on SOILing. Well, thank you.
I mean, Ace fans are sharp.
They're sharp. Oh, God. Let's see here. Our buddy James Albus. Greetings from Montana. Great episode on the best 8th track across the Kiss discography. Reminded me of when I started my Kiss fandom back in the 70s, when I would try to make the best Kiss album I could using the tracks as they appeared on the respective albums. Ooh, this is a nice little project. So he takes his favorite first track, his favorite second track, and so on, and made an album out of it. Pretty cool. Listening to you guys is a highlight of my week. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. And Zeus, I'm going to throw it back to you to wrap up feedback for the week.
Over on the Book of Face, new Patreon, John Whitley. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the amazing shout out. I was cracking up. I love the Jerky Boys, and that was hilarious. This is why I absolutely love this podcast so much. You guys are completely down to earth and welcome all of us to this awesome community of brotherhood.
You do, huh? Very proud of you. That's very nice.
So, John, for saying those kind words and being a Jerky Boys fan, you, my friend, are the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I know what you think. We're going to be watching you.
Nice. Good stuff, my friend. Thank you. And thank you, of course, for being a Patreon supporter.
Speaking of Patreon, let's give a shout out to our Patreon family. And our Patreon family is consistently growing, well over 100 members. And we need to say thank you to all them, to people like John, and appreciate all that they do for the show. Patreon is where if you subscribe and you contribute to the show, you get some perks back, including merchandise, including polls, including involvement in the show, video chats, message boards, ARC pick, which is coming up this month, the mailbag, and so much more. So when you want to join, you have to go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com.
Go to him.
Right on the landing page, you'll see the Patreon icon. You press on that, click, and then you look at the 4 different tiers, pick the one that you want, and join and help the show. This is what it does. It helps us out tremendously. It's been a great addition to the Shout It Out Loudcast brand since we started it, and it's been so helpful and has made us grow so much. So thank you, Patreon family. Thank you to all those that are part of the family. And if you're out there and interested in joining, make sure you come on board and join the family.
Guys, thank you so much for your awesome and amazing generosity and support. Whether you're brand new to the family or been there since day one or somewhere in between, it's incredible what you guys do for us, and we appreciate every bit of it. So please, we talk about it every week, and thank you. If you're interested, if you're on the fence, if you're hearing about it for the first time, please check us out. Tons of awesome perks, 4 different tiers to choose from. Click on the link at shoutitoutloudcast.com.
Tom, what we do next is we go to Kiss World. What's going on there?
Okay, so the big thing that's got everybody's attention is the Indie Kiss Fan Expo, celebrating the Destroyer Tour, 50 years of that, April 11th and 12th in Indianapolis. The Kiss Tards came out in full force on this one. The hotel is sold out where the event is. Paul Stanley has been announced as a guest, Eric Singer, Barry Levine, John Corabi. Apparently there's a lot more things that are going to be added to this. Look, I'm just going to speak for myself here. Zeus can obviously chime in as he pleases. These things are really, these are not kind of my things. Like I look, we love Kiss. We've been to Creatures Fest. We've been to the cruise. We've been to Vegas. We've been whatever. But all those things have had like concerts, like kind of like, from what I'm seeing with the Kiss Expo here, it looks like it might be a great thing. It's just not convincing enough to get us to go right now. I'm sure Eric might perform. Corabi might perform. Maybe Paul. I don't know. Plus, it's just not the kind of thing I want to go to. I'll just put it that way, Zeus.
For me, I'm not a collector.
Right.
I think that's what these things are. Paul's going to answer questions like they're not going to be fucking pre-viewed or pre-screened questions.
It's gonna be awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, all that stuff's going to be up on YouTube within, like, as it is live. I'm not going to buy anything. Like, we talked about this. Do I need more Kiss shit? I don't think so. And there are people that swear by this, and I'm happy for them because they like this stuff. Go out and enjoy it. I don't think this is for me. So I doubt we're going to go. We have friends that have been asking us, and, it's just one of those things that sometimes you can see what it is. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to pass on this one. I'd rather go on a Kiss cruise than do this. And so we'll see. It's going to be the same old shit. No offense, that all these things are. The same people going to be showing up. The same performers going to be performing fucking this. Like, we haven't seen it or heard it. Like,
the other thing too for me,
doesn't move the needle for me. That's all. And it does for others. So I'm happy for you, not for me.
Yeah. And the other thing for me too, I'm not a big like meet and greet person. Especially at the cost, like those like autographs and like photos, like, I have some, they're wonderful. But I think that's why Creatures Fest really kind of checked off a ton of different boxes, because there were meet and greets, there were photo ops, there was merch available, vendors, but there was also like the fun of like the Bruce Kulick band and Quarantine and Vinny's shenanigans and Ace and, just a whole bunch of other crazy shit going on, not to mention all of our friends. Like, that was a wildly awesome event. This just doesn't, like Zeus said, put it perfectly, it just doesn't move the needle for me. I know a ton of our friends and listeners are going, and I hope you have a great time, and I look forward to seeing your photos, videos, and experiences, but it's just not something that we're going to be doing. So we'll see. Hope it goes off without a hitch. Hopefully it's a sign of more things to come. Between this and Gene being active with his Vegas thing, it's nice to see Kiss activity back, which is cool.
So the other aspect of it is, like, I've met them all. Do I need to meet Paul? Not really. Like, Peter just had a fun event that a lot of people were happy about, and he was really cool. He waited till everybody was done, and and I'm hearing great things. But I ain't waiting in 8-hour lines for fucking anybody. Unless I'm, like, getting a chance to eat Nelly Quarter's ass.
Ooh.
I'm not, like, standing in line for that shit. Like, I just don't want to do it. I've already met Peter. I've met Gene. I've met Ace. I haven't personally met Paul, but, like...
You've met Eric.
Yeah, like, it doesn't... Like, once you get it, then you're fine. Like... Oh, he's signing stuff. Like, okay, like, God bless the people that still enjoy it. And that's just the thing. That's what, everything is out there. You can check off boxes. If you like Kiss podcasts that do this, or you like doing meet and greets, or you like, cover bands playing the stuff, there's stuff out there for everybody. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're just not bullshit artists and fake and phony and telling you things that, just to make sure we get access. Like, we're going to tell you, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing. We want to go. We're blunt and honest. This is how we feel about this stuff. And we're happy for those that do get to experience it because they love it. Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm just not that interested. I'm going to be perfectly fucking honest.
I don't look that appetizing, though. I'm a little fat in the ass.
And maybe that's another reason I don't want to go see everyone there.
One other thing, too, I just want to point out is that the ticketing is kind of interesting. I'll use that word lightly. So there's a Paul Stanley Ultimate VIP experience, which is sold out. This is $529. Okay. That does not include a photo or autograph. So I'm not really sure how they're calling that an ultimate VIP experience when you have to spend $529 for that. But if you want a photo, the photo is $259 extra. And if you want an autograph, The autograph is $279 extra. So, look, I'm sorry. I find that a little deceiving. And the fact that it's sold out, I fear it deceived a lot of other people too. Because for $529, what you got is you got a signed exclusive Paul Stanley poster. Okay, wow, great. Early access to the vendor hall, priority seating in the first 5 rows. There's that many people you need to be in the first 5 rows. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just, like Zeus said, we're not here to sugarcoat it. We're here to provide information and give opinions. And when I think of ultimate VIP, I think of I'm getting into the event, I'm getting a photo, I'm getting an autograph, maybe something extra special. You're not getting any of that, and it's sold out. So I don't know. Again, it's our opinions. I look forward to hearing how everybody's time is when it goes. It's in April. So that being said, you've heard it from us how we feel about this event, Zeus.
Oh, Jesus. It sounds like, you're getting a little overreactive to this.
I'm hurt.
Things that we can do for you.
I'm very hurt.
It's also during that Dork cruise.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Uh-oh, bad timing.
Yeah, but it's still going to sell out. There's so many Kiss tards, so much, to do. So,
Yep.
All right.
One other thing, Zeus, Kiss Online is starting to tease some Destroyer merch. They're putting out this Beware Kiss, which apparently was like the tagline back when Destroyer was coming out. So they've got some ridiculous new merch. None of it really, gets me going, quote unquote. And you know me, I'm a merch guy. My guess is this is the beginning of the rollout for when we'll see some kind of 50th anniversary merchandise. They're not calling that this right now. It's just some new stuff coming out. So.
And it was awful because when he beat me, my teeth were also in my hairpiece.
Your teeth ended up in your hairpiece?
Yes.
I don't know how your teeth ended up in your hairpiece, Tom, but
your teeth ended up in your hip. Well, I think you're getting a little overreactive.
Yeah.
Yep. And Gene kicked off his 2026 solo tour. He was in Louisiana. This was last Friday. They performed 2 Ace songs, Strange Ways, which Ace wrote, and Rocket Ride. And he had Brent Woods and Jason Walker alongside drummer and former Shout It Out Loudcast guest, the great Brian Tichy. They did 14 songs. So it looks like maybe he heard some of the complaints about some of the set list. The set list looked pretty good. So that was pretty cool that he played a couple of deep cuts, a couple of Ace related songs. So that was cool, Zeus.
Yeah. Do you want to run that set list by again?
All right, so the complete set list is Deuce, Shout It Out Loud, War Machine, Domino, Parasite, Strange Ways, Charisma, Rocket Ride, Cold Gin, I Love It Loud, Callin' Dr. Love, Let Me Go Rock and Roll All Night. Thoughts?
How about Domino and in there?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Charisma, I mean, we know he does that, but throwing Rocket Ride in there, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's mostly a Kiss set list, but it's not
still
good.
A bunch of fucking non-Kiss covers in.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually no covers in there. Yeah, exactly. So not bad.
Yeah, he must have gotten some feedback.
I agree. Yeah, exactly.
So,
yep, not bad.
All right, Tom, let's take our quick little break.
Stop. Don't talk anymore. I'm hearing shit in the background. What is that?
So, Tom, this is Kiss on 2020. I believe this is 1979. And 2020 used to be like a news program. I remember with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters.
Dude, that show was gigantic. People don't understand, before the age of streaming, when there was only a few channels, you watched 60 Minutes, you watched 2020. 2020 was different. My parents always watched it because they always did really good, like in-depth, like not just like political and world news stuff, like stuff like this Kiss clip that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So what we normally do here is we drop the clip and then we'll talk about it. So here you go.
on the ABC News Magazine 2020 tonight. The amazing multi-million-dollar merchandising of one of the hottest rock groups touring the country. Some critics say they don't make music, they just make noise. One thing is sure, they do make money, selling everything from T-shirts to nightmares. It's the story of Kiss and Sell.
This is the rock group called Kiss, and this is one of their bizarre performances. A performance that has created a market for related products that brings in over $100 million a year in sales. The four members of the group never perform in public or appear for interviews without the makeup that masks their identity. Some critics say they are more successful at making money than at making music. But over the past 5 years, they have garnered hundreds of thousands of fans, many of them youngsters who dress like the band and who come hand in hand with their parents to buy Kiss products and watch the almost nightmarish performance.
Something special coming from us. We're stars.
We only think about getting up on stage and rocking and rolling every night and making sure that everybody knows who we are.
Well, spaced out.
This is a family portrait. Look at this. How'd you like kids that look like that in America?
You might if their gross sales topped 1,500 companies listed on the stock exchanges.
Since this has turned into big business, we can't make, arbitrary decisions without talking to people who really have the facts. So we sit down with people with suits and ties who are hired by us to look after us.
In 1978, retail sales involving Kiss were approximately $117 million. The $117 million represents retail record sales of approximately $60 million, Kiss merchandising sales of about $40 million, and the balance in songwriting royalties, franchising, merchandising, and other income of that sort. Incidentally, we just closed a deal last week where we purchased 196 acres in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Kiss will build an industrial park. However, in this case, it will not be known as the Kiss Industrial Park.
We try and get around $1 a head based on the attendance. If we're going to a hall that seats 12,000 people, we generally try and bring about $12,000 worth of merchandise into the hall. Best-selling items are definitely T-shirts and programs. $299. Here's the best buyers are the little kids that bring their parents to the show. If mom and dad come, mom and dad have a pocket full of money, and the little kids get whatever they want.
I want a shirt with some inside Kiss. You want a what? It says Kiss.
I need more money.
You want a wife? I thought you were just getting a program.
What?
I want a program, that's all I want.
The programs are $5. You got two.
No.
Kiss could send half of Harlem to Harvard on their T-shirt sales alone. They definitely have the market locked up on belt buckles and posters and that kind of thing. There are a lot of other rock and roll bands who sell more records, but Kiss definitely is number one in merchandising. Kiss is basically paganism for pubescents. It has very little to do with music. If you listen to it closely, what it is all dissonance and explosions and moaning, which pretty well sums up the adolescent experience in America.
Kiss claims it cost $1.5 million to stage this extravaganza designed to titillate, astonish, and revolt the audience. Spits blood and fire. Ace's guitar bursts into flames. And Paul wiggles and press. It's the 4th of July and Halloween wrapped into one. A circus, but without elephants.
I evaluate KISS no higher than they rate themselves, which is mediocre.
I think the only thing that's silly about a reviewer that's going to put down our show, some people say we can't play, but there's no way you can ignore, 20,000 screaming fans.
KISS manager Bill O'Coin, who owns the merchandising operation, put $250,000 into the group 5 years ago, but his initial investment, like their music, has been amplified many times over. KISS's decibel level is higher than that of the controversial Concorde.
KISS can go on for as long as they want to, in my opinion. It's rough for them, maybe rougher than other groups, only because they have to contend with a complete stage show every single night. They have to contend with the makeup every day. They have to contend with a more grueling show.
Maybe we should get it tattooed to our faces so it never comes off. You see 50-year-old guy in a suit and tie.
Yeah, I was
sitting there.
Actually, what I do to protect myself is to dress up like Doris Day.
Well, I grew up in a really tough neighborhood, and it was all gangs, and instead of playing stickball, I'd be practicing drums, and a lot of them now, I guess, are in Sing Sing and digging ditches and all. They used to make fun of me. Instead of coming down and playing baseball, I'd be practicing and writing and singing.
Well, I grew up in the Bronx in a middle-class family, and I went through that whole trip of hanging out in the corner candy store, going to the park and drinking beer with the guys and gang fights and all that stuff. Most of my friends from when I was young were either in jail or dead or straightened out. Rock and roll actually saved my life.
I never wanted to be a cab driver. I never wanted to be an accountant. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be beautiful, long hair, eternally young. That's me.
When I'm on stage, I feel invincible. I feel beautiful. I feel needed by masses, and I'm proud of myself. I think when you perform and you're not turned on by what you're doing, it's time to quit. I'm my best audience because when I do something that I find really pleasing, I'll laugh or I'll pat myself on the back because I think when I'm good, there's nobody better.
We've always contended that we were going to be the biggest thing that ever was on this planet.
That's one great thing about making it. You could take care of your family, which you should, and I could do that now. So that's great about success. Kind of personal, but it's true.
When I graduated college, I had gone into teaching because initially I thought I wanted to convey knowledge, but I really didn't. It was purely ego infatuation. I thought if I got in front of people that I'd have a captive audience, and that's really the wrong reason to be a teacher. So I quickly got out of that. I taught for about 6 months in a public school system in Spanish Harlem, and I soon realized that I didn't want to teach. I simply wanted to be on stage, and I wanted people to look at me and listen to every single utterance that comes out of my precious mouth.
They call me on the doctor love. I got the curious thing to love.
Okay, we'll be back in just a moment.
All right, Tom, let's get your thoughts.
Okay, well, to start off, the clip was from July 18th, 1979. Kiss was in Cleveland, Ohio for the Richfield Coliseum show. It aired on August 16th, 1979. A couple little factoids about this show just before we get into it. This is the only known performance of the band performing Makin' Love on this tour. And Poor Peter, it was also the last time they played Tossin' and Turnin' on this tour. But in terms of the clip itself, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Zeus. I absolutely love this to the point where this is arguably one of my favorite Kiss clips I've ever seen for multiple reasons. A, I've never seen it before. B, 10 minutes on a show like 2020 is a long time. Okay. This, I'll summarize. We'll get into the weeds here, but just in summary, like you get live performances of them on the Dynasty tour. You have interviews with merch guys with the band, interviews with guys from Rolling Stone, interviews with Bill Coyne, interviews with the band, both in makeup and like behind the scenes, like kind of personal stories. I thought it was really, really well done, especially for 2020.
I will say, I'm like you. I never even heard of this.
Me neither.
I didn't even have this in our wheelhouse. Like, that we'll get to that, that news program or that TV appearance. Nothing. Right. I didn't even know it was out there. You found it, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I found because you go on that YouTube rabbit hole. I saw it. I go, holy shit, this is an episode right here.
Yeah, and so I had no idea this even existed. So I'm like you, was fascinated. I watched it. I always love seeing the dynamics of the band in different eras.
Yep.
Who does what? They all seem to get along in this. They seem to have fun. Like Peter spoke, Ace spoke. This isn't the Paul and Gene show like we're, used to nowadays when we see videos and stuff where they're talking. Maybe Eric or Tommy get a word in. This was, they talked to all of them. I especially enjoyed when they were talking about growing up in each of them. Mm-hmm. Gene has to this is funny. Peter is authentic. Yeah.
Real is real.
He talks about growing up in New York, and he's still wearing his heart on his sleeve. He's like, if I make money, I can provide for my family.
Yeah.
That's talking real. Ace is talking about, growing up in the Bronx. I had a lot of friends. I was at the corner candy store. The nickel, I'd buy some more. And, they're doing their thing. Then it gets to Paul. And it's all performative shit. Yeah. I'll do Gene's. Gene's, of course, I was going to be Doris Day. Like, it's fucking shtick. But then Gene does get into talking about that he was a teacher and being honest about, like, I liked having people's eyes on me and listening to me speaking. But he's like, that's not what you should be doing as a teacher. So he talked about being there for 6 months in Spanish Harlem teaching, that they realized he wanted to be a performer and have people look at him and stuff like that. Fine. I get that. I think that's pretty honest because he does like attention. And then Paul, like, I just want to be on stage and be beautiful. But like,
that's about as honest as we're going to get from him, though, because that's legitimately, that's it. That's a peek behind the curtain.
But he's also portraying the star child image. Like, he's playing the fucking role.
Yeah. Of course he is.
But like the other Peter, he's Peter going, no.
Right.
He's not doing Catman noises.
Right. The thing I really liked about it, you hinted at it. So the thing I like about it is that when they're in makeup backstage, they're being the members of Kiss for the most part. Again, Peter's wearing his heart on his sleeve. The thing I liked is when they did those interviews, and we know you just listened to the clip, but watch this. Just search Kiss 2020, 1979, whatever. The clip when they're interviewing them, but you can't see them, like their backs, the back of their heads to the camera. And you're getting a little bit more of a personal story from them, especially the Gene clip that you talked about and the Ace clip. I like that because, and you kind of hinted at it too, during this era, if you didn't know anything about the band, you would think that it's like a 4-way split about who's running the show, right? Like there's, I mean, yeah, Gene's gregarious and Paul is a little bit more talkative, but like there's really no, like you said, it's not like, okay, you guys back here while Gene and I take over this interview with 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and that's what I like about that. And I think that's why the fucking band was awesome back then.
I mean, the show starts with them playing New York Groove, Ace's song, though they don't show Ace singing it.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the point.
You know, they show the band in concerts. There's a lot of like, I don't know what you call that, stored footage where like they're just showing the band on stage live, the performances and things like that.
Yep.
But there's also the part too where they're asking like the merch guy how much they sell, what
I like that.
What you know, for every person in there, they market $1.
They try to get $1 ahead. So yeah, 12,000 people. We try to get $12,000 worth of merch.
And so then they had the father in there, and like, oh, those are the best people having little kids because they bring their parents' money with them, and they show.
By the way, was that guy looked like he was somebody's great grandfather? And the funniest thing is, you listen to him, he's like, "Well, that's $5." Like that, like that was a lot of money for a program back then in 1970. $5.
Yeah. Yep. And then they talked to like guy from Rolling Stone.
Oh my god, dude!
Shitting on them.
Brutal fucking
typical Rolling Stone asshole.
Paganism for prepubescence or whatever. Like just brutal. And you could tell he was really like loving his role as the asshole.
Yeah, well, let me tell you guys, this is nonsense. This is phony. They're not about music, and they're all about selling merchandise and stuff for kids. And like, oh, how dare
when it's
they?
like, you look at this is paganism. What? And the best was like Hugh Downs at the beginning. I'm Hugh Downs, the nightmarish show with Kiss.
Yeah, it's like the guy from the Land of Hype and Glory.
Yeah.
He was so like disgusted that he has to talk about this.
Yeah, like the old white guy who doesn't know anything about what's going on here. Yeah.
Hugh Downs.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is Ted Koppel, and you're listening to Kiss.
Yep, that's the thing. But I think it was cool because let's be serious. 1979, the wheels were falling off, right? Oh, we didn't know it at the time, and obviously no social media, so no one really knew it. But in retrospect, the wheels were falling off. But you watch this clip, there's no sign of that.
No, and you're only talking about months away from their Halloween appearance on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Which is October 31st, 79.
Yep.
Look how they are now, and then look at the point that the other two get, and it kind of changes. These are always great because it's not revisionist reading a book, what Paul says or Ace says or Peter, whatever. This is how they filmed them. This is how you were acting.
That's the thing I like about. That's a good point. It's not someone's recollection. This is, and this is not inputted into a Kissology disc with commentary. This is I don't know how somebody, you could tell this is like video. This is the actual 2020. The audio is not great. The video is not great. This is the real thing. And I think it's important to note that when you watch clips like this, I like that they had the Rolling Stone guy because that was a voice at that time. But then I liked how you had the merch guy.
Oh, Bill Aucoin.
And I was just going to say, with Carl Glickman and Bill Aucoin, like, the Bill Aucoin thing was fan-fucking-tastic. I just said, but Carl Glickman looked like he was like a robot. 117 million.
Yes.
60 of which is record sale. I was waiting for him to be like, is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Harrow Club?
Oh my God, you're so right. He just sounded like so not rock and roll.
No. And then did you notice how he's like, we just purchased over 100 acres for a Kiss industrial park? Is that when they were going to do like that Kiss World, like circus fucking thing?
Great investment there, Carl.
Glickman. Okay, nerd. But again,
Carl, don't be a goof.
You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be John Lennon. Carl, don't be a goof. But again, you're hearing different voices. Carl Glickman, the businessman, Bill Aucoin, the manager. And I like how it's almost like Bill Aucoin had like pity on them. He's like, yeah, you know, they're not like a regular band. It's a lot of work. It's tough being them with the makeup and the costumes and like,
yeah, exactly.
You're getting like 2020 did not need to go this in depth because let's be serious. I mean, yeah, Kiss was on top of the world in 1979. The people who watch 2020 most likely are not listening to Kiss, although they may be parents taking their kids to Kiss shows.
The other aspect is like Kiss was not probably record sales or on I don't know, the parents' radar for a lot, maybe because they're not on the radio as much. Right. So it almost seemed like, you know, there's a band called Kiss out there, and your chances are your kid knows about it.
Yeah.
You know, and
almost like a public service announcement. Like,
yeah. You know that this band Kiss is out here and they've been dominating for the last 3-4 years. And
Billy, is that what you're doing in your room? Oh, Gary.
You said you were combing your hair. You got the water running all day.
But I was listening to Show Know Something.
You got a little heat of Chris in your pantaloons.
Exactly.
Oh man, but I find this stuff fascinating. Real interesting look at the band at a different time and a different era. So I hope you guys do, and let us know what you guys think when you hear this or catch it on YouTube. And make sure you give us your comments.
Yeah, definitely make sure you watch it, okay? Because visually, it's definitely interesting compared, and not just because it's Kiss and makeup, etc. But just watch like the expression. Like that Rolling Stone guy is going to be a fucking icon now for us. Yeah. He's such a dick. But yeah, it's a great clip. It's a really good clip. Very in depth for a 10-minute clip on 2020. I thought.
Yeah, and then Carl Glickman. We're selling a lot of merchandise. Okay, Carl.
Okay, Carl.
Exactly. Well, Tom, this is a TV appearance, so we're going to rank this shit along with the rest of our TV appearances, and this is what we've done so far.
Yeah, we've done a
We're
lot.
going to do this chronologically, not from when we did them, but when they came on. ABC in Concert, Mike Douglas Show, Midnight Special, Kiss on So It Goes, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Kids Are People Too, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Kiss on Fridays, Kiss MTV Unmasking, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Paul and Eric hosting on MTV, Peter Criss on Donahue, Kiss on Arsenio Hall, Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, Kiss on Family Guy, a very special Family Guy freaking Christmas, Gene and Paul on Fox News and Vanity Coast.
I love that one.
It still cracks me up. Their fucking faces, and that still is
Alan
just
Combs.
Oh my god!
Fucking love that guy.
Come on,
Rest in
Combs.
peace. Come on, Combs.
Not to be confused with Bob Beckel.
Shouted out Loudcast Hall of Famer. Is he in the Hall of Fame? I don't even know.
I don't know. Maybe Pat Cadell will make it this year.
And Mort Kondracki.
Pat Cadell will look like the fucking doctor from fucking Cannonball Run.
Oh, what a reference.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Tom, that's 20, and this will be 21. Tom, why don't we do, because there's 20 of them, why don't you just do your top 5?
Okay, so my top 5, at number 5, I got Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Fridays, ABC in Concert, and the Midnight Special. So it's going to be tough to top like concert performances. There are clips in this. This one's really good. I really like this one a lot, but it's going to be tough to kind of crack that top kind of echelon there. But it's got the band, it's got Dynasty Live, it's got Bill Aucoin, it's got the friggin' Rolling Stone asshole. It's got a lot of good stuff. It's got Carl Glickman. I'm actually going to put this at number 8, Zeus, right below Paul Lynde Halloween Special. I like this clip a lot. I watched it a few times and really liked it.
Okay, so Kiss on 2020.
Yep. Number 8.
All right. My top 5. ABC in Concert, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas Show, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Midnight Special. I'm telling you, it's going to be very hard for anything to get into that top 5.
Oh, I agree.
So,
yeah.
I'm going to put this as well at number 8. Underneath Kiss on Fridays and above Peter Criss on Donahue.
Okay.
But I think this was a fascinating clip. Interesting. And what I like about it, it's not very well known.
Yeah, it's not at all, which is kind of surprising. I'm surprised that the band didn't include this on any Kissologies, because it is kind of a long clip and it's a good clip.
Yeah. So, all right, Tom, what we do next is we go to this.
Hey, what is this? 20 fucking questions?
Nope, it's only one question, Zeus. And it's brought to us by the great Shout It Out Loudcast Hall of Famer, friend of the show, Tony the Taxman, and his company ABCPA Inc. Because ABCPA Inc. is an accounting firm located in the suburbs of Chicago that can assist you in all of your accounting and tax needs. For businesses, they can help you with everything from starting your business, financial statements, bookkeeping, payroll, and of course, the filing of those pesky federal and state income tax returns. For individuals, they can help you with everything from rental real estate, trust and estate returns, and of course, personal, federal, and state income tax returns. And because ABCPA Inc. has access to all 50 states, Zeus, it doesn't matter if you live in
Tennessee
or
Georgia.
They can prepare an e-file on your behalf. Follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Visit their website at abcpainc.com or call Tony's office directly at 708-430-3232, 708-430-3232, abcpainc.com. Said it before and I'll say it again. Zeus and I both used ABCPA Inc. for personal and professional level tax needs, and Tony is amazing. His staff is amazing. Great communication, amazing stuff. So please check them out, abcpainc.com. And with that said, Zeus, our question of the week comes from our good buddy and the guy who goes to every single show on planet Earth, the great Tom Selleck.
Oh.
He's got a Peter-related question. I like these. He says, do you think Peter Criss's albums Out of Control and Let Me Rock You would have sold better if his 1978 solo album wasn't such a radical departure from the Kiss sound? So he thinks because his 78 solo album was so terribly kind of received that people just checked out and wanted nothing to do with these two albums. Thoughts?
No, because I think actually the Peter Criss 78 album is so much better than those two that you should kind of be aware of what you're going to be getting when you bought those two albums. Because if the Peter Criss solo album was, I don't know, much bigger or rockier or whatever, then when they bought Out of Control on the other one, they're going to be like even more fucking pissed off. Like, what is this shit?
Well, I see what you're saying in terms of enjoying the album. But I think Tom has a point. I think if Peter's album was more, like Baby Driver and, mainline, the people would be like, oh, Peter's putting out another album. Oh, let's get Out of Control. And then they're gonna be like, this isn't good. But I think he may be onto something, because 78 was such like, what the fuck is this? People are like, well, I don't want more of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. Or it could be that those albums just weren't very good. And because
they got no
push
either. They
were getting no push. They didn't give a fuck about it. No. He was persona non grata at that point, and the albums weren't very, it's just hard to push it as part of the Kiss family, like those type of albums, just not very Kiss-like. So
no, he's right. But I do think there is something to be said that if the 78 solo was a little bit more on the nose of what people liked, I feel like more people would have maybe been prone to it. But I think that 78 album probably scared some people off. But you're right. Regardless, I don't think they were going to be like, oh, thank God I bought Out of Control. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Tom. Love you, buddy. And thanks for the question. Always love your contributions.
All right, Tom, where can people find us?
Always go to our website at shoutoutloudcast.com. That's the best place to find everything related to the show, all the episodes, all the rankings, all the links to our guests, and tons of stuff, including a link to buy our #1 Amazon best-selling book, Raise Your Glasses. Please check that out. Links to all of our social media. We're very active on all of those, so please, if you're not following us, get on it, because there's tons of activity on all of our social media, which we love to do. Links to our merch, which is awesome. Tons of very cool and fun and exciting products for you to check out there. Links to our Patreon, which we talked about, so please check that out as well. And our email address at shoutoutloudcast@gmail.com. And we always like to remind everyone that we're a very proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
You can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, motherfucker. Check out our Spotify playlist. Tom set that up last week, and you could see our favorite 8th track from Kiss albums by going to our Patreon profile, not the podcast. So that's how you would find it. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Amazon for our book, Raise Your Glasses, which we appreciate if you could do. And in addition, Tom, what we like to do is we end on famous last words. Do you have any?
Oh, always. Am I the master of your soul? Do you lose all control? Ha! Is it my fire or my flame? Do I drive you insane? Charisma!
Ugh. Oh, yeah, baby. So many years since I was here. On the streets, I was passing my time away. To the left and to the right. Buildings towering to the sky. It's out of sight. In the dead of night. Ooh, and I go, do. You do the ooh, and I go, here I am. And in the city. With a fistful of dollars. And I go, baby, you better believe.
Now, that I don't remember, but, that's because, I wasn't sober.
He doesn't remember New York Groove. That's okay.
God bless Ace. It's okay.
Yeah. So, Tom, Kiss Army, Loudcasters, Hugh Downs tards. Thank you.
Guys, thanks so much. Hope you had a good time with this one. We love these episodes. I hope you do too. Yeah. Kiss tards, Carl Glickman tards. Zeus, as always, my friend. Thank you.
Somehow we powered through this one. Good Lord, I'm going to puke. Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss-tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?